Telling your story. WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Columbus police make an arrest in connection with a deadly accident. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Marcus Hunter.
And I'm Grace Brister. 25-year-old Tyler Spencer is charged with aggravated DUI. Investigators say he was driving the car that crashed into a bridge on Lindbergh Road this past July. 20-year-old Egypt Ariana Cooper died in that accident. Spencer was seriously injured. A CPD spokesman says a toxicology test led to Spencer's arrest. His bond was set at $25,000.
A conservation officer is injured in a Lowndes County accident that happened this morning. The crash happened on Highway 45 just south of Carson Road. The Mississippi Highway Patrol says the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks pickup truck 23-year-old Brandon Edmondson was driving collided with the back of an 18-wheeler. Edmondson was on duty at the time of that crash. Troopers tell WCBI the driver of the big rig, Derek Little, was not injured. Edmondson was taken to Baptist Golden Triangle and later flown to Tupelo for treatment. Lieutenant Colonel Chris Reed with MDWFP says Edmondson is stable. The accident remains under investigation by MHP.
What started off as a call to help a victim in the hospital leads to the arrest of the patient and another woman. 32-year-old Raven Porter and 40-year-old Zipporah Carr are both charged with robbery. Columbus police say officers were called to Baptist Golden Triangle this past weekend after Carr went there with injuries. She told them a Tyrone Wilson assaulted her. After speaking with Wilson, it appeared something completely different happened. Investigators believe Porter and Carr assaulted Wilson, then took his wallet and cell phone. That is called a strong arm robbery. Wilson fought them off with a pair of large hand pliers, causing injuries to the women. Porter and Carr remain in jail.
Most of our day has stayed relatively calm, but around 1 o'clock this afternoon, our rain chances started picking up and pushing north to south across the area. A little bit of a closer look to northeast Mississippi. We have had some isolated rain. The heaviest has moved out of Oxabaha County, now pushing towards Louisville as we're continuing into some of our later hours of our Wednesday evening. Looking across the area as most of us are staying dry, beautiful blue sunny sky with temperatures anywhere from the low 80s to the low 90s. A little bit of a closer look at that sun on our Mama Justice Columbus Skycam. Grace.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, plans for spending the city's remaining internet tax money split the Columbus City Council down the middle last night. The city has about $1.5 million remaining from this year's drops and estimates that there will be about $1.3 million coming in January. Just over $841,000 of that was already earmarked for projects, and city engineer Kevin Stafford has drawn up plans for the remainder. Rule changes now allow the money to be used on city assets as well as streets, bridges, and drainage. The city plan calls for much needed roof repairs at the municipal complex, along with repairs to the city's public works barn and the demolition of the former Dial-A-Bus building and repairs at East Columbus Gym. There would also be money for additional paving projects. Ward 6 Councilman Jason Spears made a motion to use the money for paving and drainage projects only and work to make a separate plan for the other issues and find a different funding source. Ward 3's Rusty Green, who usually holds similar views on finances, made a substitute motion to accept the current proposal on the basis that the repair needed are immediate and necessary. He also stated that he would support it, quote, this time, unquote, but did not want it to become the norm. There was a tie vote on Green's motion with Ward 1's Ethel Stewart and Ward 2's Roderick Smith supporting it, and LaVon Harris, Gregory Jefferson, and Jason Spears opposed. Mayor Stephen Jones broke the tie in favor of the motion.
Well, rundown buildings drag down neighborhoods and city budgets, but new money is now available to help clean them up. Abandoned and dilapidated properties can be eyesores, safety risk, and magnets for crime. They also lower property values and tax revenue. When owners can't be found or will not pay, cities and counties are often stuck with the cleanup cost. The Secretary of State's office has a fund to help cover those expenses. It was rarely used in the past because of limited dollars, but lawmakers boosted the fund this year. Secretary of State Michael Watson is urging local governments to apply.
But working with the legislature is actually really starting to focus hard on this issue, one that we've been looking at for 6 years now. It's fun to have them kind of seeing how we see and hopefully moving forward on some new changes that will help us clean those up and get them back on the tax rolls. That's the most important piece.
The new funding kicks in July, on July 1st, and Watson says there has already been a lot of interest from local governments.